Good morning and welcome. Sorry, I'm a couple minutes late for the live people. And happy Sunday. And if you're watching this as a video after 11 a.m. Sunday morning, welcome to the Medium channel where we bring you the spirituality behind the message. So it's been a very action-packed couple of weeks, and we've talked about a few of the changes that are coming up. I'm going to just touch very quickly on a couple of astrological things that are going on briefly, and then I'm going to direct you to Sharita Starr, who I believe, is on the thread with us, and her lunaroscopes or lunar scopes. Yeah, Sharita, if you like to leave the website, if you like to leave your blog on the comments, please feel free. And also, Arban Diaz on the Integral Astrology channel does a very good, accurate weekly astrology forecast, diving into the different aspects and everything. So that's he's on YouTube. Sharita has a blog and a website, and she's on Facebook also. So, anyways, what's going on? Did anything happen recently of any importance? Oh, right. We had the solar eclipse hitting the base of the planet, the south pole actually, or Antarctica, and the southern tips of like Africa and the Americas. I think, well, not the Americas because it was nighttime there, but if Africa got to see the total solar eclipse, and that was in Sagittarius. So there's a lot of Sagittarius energy that's starting to really come in now. I think it's tomorrow. No, Tuesday. No, actually, right now, today, the moon went into Capricorn this morning. Okay. Forgive me. It's a Sunday morning. The moon in Capricorn. It meets up with Venus and Pluto, I believe, tomorrow. And then the moon goes into Aquarius. And I wrote a couple notes here. So Mercury and Neptune are going to square. And then, in the mutable sign. So Mercury in Sagittarius, Neptune in Pisces, and then the moon goes into Aquarius. Then right after that, then Mars and Jupiter are squaring in fixed signs. Mars in Scorpio and Jupiter in Aquarius. And then the moon and Uranus are going to square also, almost at the same time. I think that's Wednesday morning or Tuesday. Anyway, so that Sag Aquarius energy with a little bit of Capricorn thrown in for good measure is going to be very much about sort of like the upheaval energy. It's very kind of revolutionary in nature. There's a lot that's coming to the surface. There's been things sort of welling around the news that we're going to start to have a better understanding of things that are going on in the world behind the scenes and starting to rise up to the surface. So that's been kind of a little bit of a theme there. So I'm just hi to everybody. Ooh, moon will be my sign. Yeah, my moon in Aquarius also would be my sign too. So anyway, that's a lot to unpack. And that's why I wanted to mention Sharita. She's on the thread because she dives into a lot of detail. And like I said, Armand Diaz on the Integral Astrology channel. I'm sure we'll have a few things to say about that also. But for now, let's dive into some tarot stuff. And being that we're really coming into Sagittarius season, once Mars reaches Sagittarius, I think that's on the 16th of the month, 15th or 16th. Then we have, except for Venus, all the inner planets in Sagittarius, the Sun and Mercury and Mars. And then Venus goes retrograde right around the same time in Capricorn. So anyway, it's very kind of a lot of energy is shifting, and we just had the solar eclipse, which is solar eclipses are super new moons, and it actually was a super new moon and a solar eclipse, and that's about new beginnings and change. And so there's a lot of change, but a lot's coming to the surface. Thing is to hang in there. Now, if you want to catch up on my Ascension updates, I did that last week. talked a little bit about that and what's what's going on. The prior month, I predicted the new uh, COVID variant and the likely effects that that's going to have, and that's so far playing out pretty much to the letter, and I think that it will, but it's like in a way the beginning of the end of the mass hysteria and the mass illusion and delusions, and Neptune comes into play a lot also. So, and anyway, long story short, you can check that out, and I'll touch a little bit on things today. Now, because it's Sagittarius season, which is ruled by Jupiter. I picked this card out of the deck because we love the Wheel of Fortune. It shows a turning of the wheel. It's been coming up a lot in my spreads lately. So this is Jupiterian energy, and when we see the Wheel of Fortune, it really acknowledges that for us to be open to receive the guidance of spirit, open to change, and to be the change actually, and to start to make the internal changes in order to help other people to change, because it sort of acknowledges that basically we're the Wheel of Fortune is round like the earth, and there's a lot of symbols on it, and in this deck there's a lot of Egyptian type symbols on it. Different tarot decks have a little bit of a different depiction, but like I said, when it comes up in readings, it's generally taken as good news because, hey, fortune, that's a good thing. And the wheel's always turning. So the message is to really hang in there and to find that safe place right in the center of the circle, like in our heart or in the eye of the storm, and to be able to build and expand from the center. Because this card, Jupiter's all about expansion and higher knowledge, and it's we also get the word jovial from Jupiter, so it's about good spirits, humor, and things like that. So the idea is to expand from the heart. We talk here on this channel a lot about heart coherence, how if we can raise the heart to the vibration of compassion, love, gratitude, we are finding through our quantum physicists and scientists that the field of energy that sort of blends our human existence with our spiritual existence. In Star Wars, we call it the Force, right? Or that invisible layer of energy um, that connects all things and connects us energetically to spirit or source. Um, and you're finding that vibrates on a frequency that we can experience in our human lives in the form of compassion and love and gratitude. So when we raise the frequency of the heart and expand the heart, we start to connect with the quantum field, or which is a scientific word for God, really, because it's that field of energy where all possibilities and all time already exist. So if we can vibrate on that level, then we can create our reality from that level that created everything in the physical environment. So this is part of the awakening, is understanding that the heart is really only one of 7 major chakras. So it's not like the only game in town, but it's the central chakra. So if you activate the heart, you have a much easier time, say, activating your crown chakra or your sacral chakra, or where we tend to create things from an emotional or energetic standpoint here in the physical, or root chakra. So this is a good one just to kind of keep keep uh keep in your heart. So to keep this Wheel of Fortune in your heart, and good fortune is going to come, and to develop and expand individually, and that's going to help the collective also turn the wheel into the next level. And Jupiter or Sagittarius is the straight shooter. Sagittarius wants to understand the truth, wants to be very direct. So it's the archer. So there's no beating around the bush or passive aggressiveness or any of that kind of stuff when it comes to Sagittarius. It's the cold hard facts, the hold card cold hard truth, and that's basically what it's about. The Sagittarius energy is not necessarily gonna coddle or stuff like that. And sometimes it can be a little bit cold and even a little bit arrogant in its nature, in trying to get to that very direct point, and so forth. So anyways, I'm gonna pull a meditation card. Yeah, I like that. Trust in the process. Thank you, Janice. That's it's what we have to do. Yeah, we have to be patient. But the things we have to work on ourselves. And I know I fell into this last week for a couple of days. I regretted it. But reminder for me, reminder for you. There's only one person that we can really help and affect change, and we can't try to change other people, even with the best of intentions. The best way to change others, or it shouldn't even say change others, but to help other people grow and to help other people awaken and to see what's going on, is to really work on yourself. And through the energy, that expansion, that Sagittarius energy in the Wheel of Fortune, our growth and expansion is going to help other people grow and expand. And then we're all teachers, we're all doing this together. Then when people are ready, they're going to come to you. So you don't have to impose your views on others. When they're ready, they're going to come to you. And then that person is, as Sharita always says, reachable and teachable. And then you can start to interact with that person and help them on their journey also. Hopefully that makes some sense. So anyways, next I want to pull a meditation card. Everybody, so hello everybody that's coming in. I'm Sag with the country south node still. And I think the south node's in early degrees Gemini. If Sharita can correct me if I'm wrong. I don't know if that's the lunar south node or what that is. I have to learn a little bit more about what the nodes are actually about. Or is it the north node? Anyhow, I all I know is that the nodes really lined up very well with my sun and Libra. That trining and sextiling, respectively. Anyway, so let me pull my meditation card and change. Yeah. So when you change yourself, you start to change the world. We're that connected. We bring all of our individual experiences into that connection. So this is a nice card to meditate on. This is a card of prestige and honors and money too. So some readers call it the Wall Street card, which is kind of cute. So meditating the card, you just these could be like your soul family, right? So use this card to meet with your soul family in your meditations this week. Your spirit guides, your angels, the ascended masters that work with you. And meditating with tarot, for me, what I recommend is that you just get very relaxed, get a mental snapshot of the card, or you can meditate with your eyes open and kind of see this image as a doorway. Now, this is the Hanson Roberts deck. A lot of people use the Rider-Waite deck, but whatever deck that you have, use your own cards. Or if you don't have one, take a mental snapshot of this. I'll bring it really close. There you go. And then treat this as a doorway, and you step through the door and you're in a whole nother world with a panoramic view. So there's 4 people here. There may be 800 people in the scene. And go and as in your meditation, see if you can meet some of your guides that are working with you, or you might meet other people's guides, or you might meet Leonardo da Vinci or some famous people over there. But this is a good meditation for that. Yes. All right. The world changes around you. Yeah. Change your inner world. Yes. And then the outer world starts to change. That's basically what law of attraction is about. Now, this week for people that are in Spirit Mind Family, and if you're not, check it out. It's our membership program. It's Angels and Miracles Month. So I have a theme every month. Now, Tuesday, 7 o'clock, Heather Istara, our healer, is going to do an angelic transmission, a healing transmission from the angels for us. That's on the Medium channel, so of course that's free. The Spirit Mind Families and Membership Program, so that's a very small donation to be part of that, a monthly non-commitment donation. And one of the videos I'm going to do on that's for the higher 2 tiers. Actually, there's 3 tiers in that. Is going to be how to craft a miracle. So I'm going to go into detail how to create miracles in your life. There's actually an art and a science to it, and of course, working with the angels is part of that. So Tuesday, though, check Heather out. She's going to do a beautiful healing with us on live at 7 o'clock p.m. Eastern time. So what I do now is pull 3 cards just as a message for us in this collective, and maybe some messages about what's going on in the world might come out. When we work with cards, they're a divination tool. They're not a fortune-telling tool, at least not in my reality. And you can get messages and insights and understand. I feel like the greatest gift of divination, whether you use tarot or you do straight psychic readings or work with spirit, is the insight and foresight that it provides, because we really create our own reality, and we have to understand what wheels are already set in motion, like what absolutely has to play out based upon what's happened already, versus what we can alter. Like we can change the trajectory of our lives through insight and change our vibration and energy in order to change our inner reality, which starts to shift our outer reality, and we can actually shift the timeline. So nothing's written in stone. Let me get my my technology together here to present these 3 cards to you. Like last week, it's all good energy. I think we're doing our work here. So we come into the Hermit card, which tends to be more about Virgo energy. Then we have a 9 and a page here. So 9 complete cycles. And to me, I'm looking at this card, and even though it's a very peaceful energy, in my mind, I'm hearing batten down the hatches. So I feel like Spirit's nudging us, this pre-Christmas time is really the time to prepare for the winter. Meaning, if something goes out with the electrical grid, or if the supply chains get cut even further, or whatever happens, to be in a way that you'll be able to survive, and it's good to have some backups, like some food. I'm actually going to get order this week, but I'm going to get almost like a camping stove, because I have all electric here, and I don't have a generator, so I want to be able to heat food if and maybe figure out something about what I can do for heat if we do lose power out here, for an extended period. Like we always lose power in Phoenicia, New York. Back in the 1970s, I was thinking, when I was studying the global warming phenomena, back in the 70s and everything, I was thinking to myself, why the heck are all the power lines above ground? It's like with all the technology that we have, and the and everything that's going on, it's like, why can't we have a more efficient electrical grid? But anyway, I digress. I apologize. I feel like this Page of Cups is talking about interesting thing, because I'm looking at this, and Sadhguru, who's doing a lot of work around the world now. Most of you know who Sadhguru is. He just popped up in my mind, and I get the feeling like he's going to be one of the forces that's going to really try to help unite people and help us work together to get through this crisis. I've been seeing some pretty alarming things about modern farming practices, which again, I had my awakening my first awakening in 79. So I was all on this whole thing about modern farming practices, how it's devaluing food. And now they're finding that mainstream farming, that the humus level of the soil is about 1/20th of where it needs to be in order for the food to have its vitality. And there's a real concern that in 40 or 50 years that we may not be able to grow food, in conventional ways, because we're devitalizing the soil with modern farming practices. Soil needs humus and human, think about it. That comes from decaying wood, decaying leaves, not from clearing and then tilling year after year till you till so deep into the earth that there's no humus at all in it. So there's a lot going on. The politicians want us to key in on global warming. That's an issue, but that's only one issue of our environment that we really, really need to address. So I get this feeling like sort of a coming together. And this Hermit card is interesting because that's about wisdom, prudence, knowledge. It's a very kind of an old, energy. That's why there's an elderly gentleman with a lantern with a six-pointed star, Star of David in it, or a Kabbalistic star, and and he's kind of looking over in the mountains. It's like that's the card of the ascended masters, like Moses, Jesus, um, or take your pick depending on what culture you are. Allah. Um, um, I forgot the name of Makutasa, whatever it is, that you call the quantum field, and so I feel like they're saying, get a plan together. I it Nothing's written in stone, it's fluid, but one of the possible timelines it is actually like having a period where it's hard to get supplies, where people may be cut off from the supply chains, or lose power, or really need to rely on having resources, having food, shelter, supplies, all that good stuff. And that's basically what I'm seeing. Is like I said, it's good energy. It does show that we are in process. We are doing the work. At least those of us in this community, that you're doing a good job, basically. So keep it up. And I feel like through the Hermit card, they're saying we're all channels. A lot of you know that I do channeling, not just mediumship, but energetic channeling, that they can activate my fields. And as I lead the meditation process, we're joining in consciousness. So the guides that activate my energy fields activate your energy fields also. So we connect and evolve that way. And they're also saying I'm going to actually do a live stream. But I think sometime before Christmas. My schedule is so jam packed in December. It's hard for me to think about this, but I wanted to show you guys a few new breathing techniques. And the idea is every day do some kind of a breathing technique where on the inhale you just expand your body and your fields. It's almost like on the inhale you're expanding every cell, like every vertebrae, like every joint expands, every cell, every atom, everything. It's almost like you get bigger, and your cells expand outward and create more space in between the cells. And then when you exhale, contract. And what this is going to do, it's going to clear stuck energy, and it's going to help energy move through you. That's the key in evolving, in ascending in a very graceful manner, is allowing energy to flow smoothly through you. Part of that is emotional work, not holding on to stuff. Don't hold on to the past. Don't hold on to what's going on in the media, or what the politicians are saying, or what the conspiracy theorists are saying. Learn how to discern conspiracy theories with conspiracies. There are conspiracies that are happening, that are known that it's happening. You have to dig deeper than the mainstream news, but it's absolutely happening. It's nothing new. It's just taken to a new level now. The elite, follow the money, follow the corrupt flow of power. who's benefiting from misinformation, who's benefiting from overemphasis on one aspect of what's going on in the world and causing people to be distracted from what's going on behind the scenes, all that kind of stuff. So um, my thoughts are going a mile a minute. So if I'm jumping around, I apologize. But this is, as a community, we, that's part of the whole process of, clear, keeping the emotional body clear, and then doing some breathing and extending and yeah, and spreading out your atoms and creating more space to clear cogs and to allow energy to flow smoothly through you. So that's where I started this conversation. So if you're not holding on to things emotionally, then energy flows through you. When you are, it gets stuck, and then you get stuck in these bad feelings, and then it affects your health, it affects your vitality, it affects your immune system also. And it, the virus is a real thing. It's real. People are getting sick and dying, but you don't have to. That's the thing. um and a lot of it's about empowerment and emotional. And then, of course, the other part of it is staying safe physically as well. But yeah, I like this page of cups. I like this whole spread. It has a nice feeling, but again, for what's showing up with the astrology, what's showing up in the numerology, that Sharita Stars domain, she can fill you in on detail. You watch our Pluto return. Well, I shouldn't say art. I introduced Sharita and she ran the show, but we have a whole Pluto return video here on the channel also. Pluto return in the USA, that is, and how that affects the world and how that affects us personally. And that's we're gonna have Mercury and Venus, both retrograde for a time as well in the next couple of months, and lots of other goodies. So check that out. So let me move on to the next part. Um, let me pull a Native American card, so that should augment us. Um, okay, so this is the one we got. So we got contentment, which the six. I think this aligns with the Six of Cups in the regular tarot. Hit the like button. Thank you, Bernie. Yes, please hit the like button. Let's share this. We're a community. So what I need to do is just vibe on this a second. So my 63-year-old eyes require glasses to look at this. And almost, what I'm feeling is almost like the horse going in both directions, and that there's three people on the horse, and yeah, it's contentment. The sun's out, everything's happy, but they're not together. To me, I'm seeing that they're spreading apart, and it's almost like they're trying to move in different directions. So, basically, again, I feel like this really, kind of about coming together. Now, there's a lot of interesting symbolism here. Horses are about empowerment, about freedom. When the native people, started to get introduced to the horses, I guess they came up through Mexico because they came in, through the Spaniards. The horses weren't indigenous to this country. Uh, the people were able to expand their reach, but it also led to conflicts between the native nations and a little bit of disparity also. So it's sort of like a mixed blessing. So these tools of technology or these spiritual tools, they have great power in terms of raising the collective, but at the same time, they have the potential of dividing people also. So it's almost like we've got to really understand that we've got to stay together and stick together. And the other symbolism with that, like the horses move, so that's the empowerment and the freedom. The 3 and 1 and 1 and 3. So in Christian-based religion, that's the Father, Son, and the Holy Spirit. In the European pagan tradition, that would be the the mother, maiden, and crone. That's the triple goddess in Wicca, actually. So we have that empowerment, expansion, Jupiterian energy of number three. And it's kind of, again, I just feel like in my mind, it's like they're not together. They are, but they're not. Their ideologies are different, and but they're still moving together. They're still traveling together. So we don't have to agree on the specifics. We all have different perspectives. In the medicine wheel teachings, we all are born into one position in the circle. You can look at this from astrology also. Like I'm a 1 degree Libra. We're all born in a different um, space in the circle, and this the center. You can look at that as reality, or what is. Now, like if I had like a hammer in the middle, of the circle, if that's where reality is, and I'm in the bottom of the circle, my view of reality might just be the handle of the hammer, but the person on the other side view would be the head of the hammer, and the person on the side would be this long rod with a hammer on the side. So it's the same hammer, but we're seeing that from different vantage points. And that's part of Native American teachings, as I learned back in the day, that we need to learn how to walk around the whole circle and see that reality from all different vantage points. See what how somebody from China sees the world. Not to focus so much on it's a communist country. There's a there is a validatable situation where we're more socialistic. Is that even a word? Socialism is be more indoctrinated into the so-called free world, and a lot of people are very leery about that. But the average person from China, that they have a whole different perspective on things. So the point being is that's what I'm feeling is the underlying message, that we have to be open and respectful for other people's viewpoint. We don't have to agree with them, but to be open to them. That's the idea. Part of our ego's function is to survive. If our viewpoints are threatened, the ego sees that as a threat to survival. We automatically get defensive. I do this. I'm pretty sure you do this also. So what we want to do is learn how to be present, because when I find myself in my ego and in my survival mode and just like wanting to snap at somebody that doesn't agree with me, I have the power to either go with that reaction, or to take a couple of deep breaths, get present, and to get back into my power, and to become the observer of my own emotional reaction. That way I can understand my programming better, and I can understand that what I need to do to consciously change my programming to a more empowering one. So anyway, let me look at do I even have my angel? Oh, I do. I said, did I even bring my angel cards? So I wanted to see if I can augment that message from the animals kingdom. So let me just clear my mind a second. Oh, I haven't gotten this animal before. Kiwis. How cute. That's what a kiwi looks like. I always thought it was a fruit. What do I know? Do a walking meditation each day for the next week. Okay. Walking meditations are great. And the way I do my walking meditations is, firstly, as I'm doing my walking, I imagine with each step, I'm downloading energy I don't need back into the earth. And another way I do it is I get very present. And when I inhale, I feel my body, my aura gently expanding. When I exhale, I feel it gently contracting. Because physically, when we inhale, our lungs expand and our body subtly expand. Then you get into presence, then you get into a meditation mode. I guess kiwis do a lot of walking then. I don't know. So anyway, that's from the animal kingdom. And last and certainly not least is our angel message for the week. Mm, um, mm. Hiking in the woods, yes, certainly is. Okay. Okay, very good. I like this. This kind of has a naturey vibe, right? Crystal too. I like this. So this is Doreen Virtue's Messengers from the Angel card. The backs are really nice also. It has sort of like this look on the back of the cards. And this says, have faith and hope because there is something positive and new on the horizon that you can't see yet. And that goes along the lines of what we've been talking about today. So, this is the awakening. Yeah, I feel like really last new moon, so we're about a month into it. I really felt like we came out of the cusp of this awakening, this Aquarian age, or whatever you want to call it, and right into the heart of it. And now that we're in early December, very kind of energetically volatile month. But it's needed because things have to change. Things just can't go. I mean, if things were to continue the way that they've been, I mean, this earth would slowly but surely become unsuitable for supporting life, basically. So on so many different levels, things have to change. Our thinking, our ideologies have to change. It starts by finding your center, finding your heart, and expanding the heart frequency. Again, the heart, and it's being proven by science. I get a lot of my information from Greg Braden. If you want to know my source, I really trust him. I've seen him talk. I mean, the first time I saw him, I was like, this is a very humble, very honest man. This is somebody that I can trust, because a lot of these so-called spiritual teachers, I don't feel like I can trust. I feel people's agendas. I just and I talk about Joe Dispenza a lot also. Joe's kind of the rebel. Greg is more like the pacifist, or Joe's like stirring up the pot, basically. But they're both great spiritual teachers. They work a lot with quantum physics. And so what there's a reason I was talking about Greg Braden. All right. I lost my train of thought there. Sorry about that. But anyway, have faith and hope, because there is something positive and new on the horizon that we can't see yet. And yeah, and that's the main thing, to have faith and to really, again, vibrate from the heart. I got my train of thought back. And you know, they're really proving, because they're really starting to learn how to measure the field, the quantum field, or that layer of energy that connects our physical lives with spirit, or source energy. The force, if you like chi or prana, all those terms work. But the mystics have known about it forever. Once you have an awakening, you start to feel the energy, you start to feel the fields. If you can let that energy flow through you, so that's why I talked about that breathing and that expansion exercise earlier on. And this, by the way, if you got on late, check out the beginning. A lot of good information came in. Um, and um, and okay, let me get everything back in alignment here. Okay, we're good. So when you start to expand the frequency of the heart, because they're finding that the quantum field vibrates in that frequency of compassion and love. That's why every religion, God is love. And now scientists are starting to prove that. So when we expand the emotional frequency of the heart and make it coherent, hearts are coherent when they feel compassion, gratitude, and love. When they are programmed by fear, or when we separate ourselves from our heart and our feelings because we've had a lot of pain or whatever it is, the heart becomes incoherent because it's not vibrating at its natural frequency. It's like me trying to understand Swahili. It's just not going to happen. So we have to bring the heart back to its own language, which is compassion, gratitude, and love. And then we become a vibrational match to the quantum field. And then we start to connect with spirit or God or source. And that's where our guides, our angels, and all different levels of spirituality exist. So the heart, expand the heart, and then you're going to find it much easier to work with your other chakras and then develop your intuition, and you can start to heal yourself because God or spirit wants us to all be healthy. We get sick when it's our time to leave our bodies and then go to the other side, but other than that, we're supposed to be healthy. So anyways, that's what I have for you guys today. Yeah, thank you. Good for you, Mary. Yeah, definitely do that. Can you put his name here for me? Yes. Great. Yeah, it's two G's. Yeah. Sharita has spelled it correctly. So thank you, everybody. What's going on in the medium channel world? Tuesday, Heather's coming back to do her angelic transmission and healing. We're gonna have Sharita back, I think, in early January. So that's going on Zoom. Sharita and I are going to do I'm doing mediumship. She's doing numerology. So we're going to do readings on a week from Tuesday, which is the 14th, I think, or maybe the 15th. So anyway, you can check all this out on atombetweentheworlds.com. That's our website. And there's something else, but I can't remember what it is. I guess it's not that important in the moment. Well, on the 19th, I'm going to do mediumship here on the channel. So that's a free event. We generally get about 80 people, and I get about maybe 10 or 15 messages out there. So you might be one of the lucky ones. And I'm going to be doing a transmission on the full moon. And I'm going to be doing a solstice transmission. Going to be another very powerful winter solstice this year. I'm going to do an energy transmission, here then also. So that's basically it. So thank you. Stay safe, everybody. Stay in your heart, stay in your power, stay in your center. The more you can do that, the more of service you're going to be in collective consciousness as we transition into a higher vibratory state, which some people call the 5D or 5-dimensional reality. So it's a higher vibratory state that we're entering into as a collective. A lot of us individually have already started to touch in with that, and because it's such an energetic shift, it changes our bodies. It changes a lot in our physical lives. Sometimes it's not that easy, but the idea is to stay in your heart, stay in your power. Do meditate, get present, be the observer of your reaction in your environment rather than the person being triggered. Observe that, and keep doing heart expansion, heart meditation. I talk about that in virtually every live stream I do here on the Medium channel because it's that important. Not because I don't have anything else to say. So anyway, thank you again. So I'm going to sign off. I have a feeling we went way over today again. I should just say it's going to be 45 minutes rather than a half hour. All right. Thank you. Exactly, Mr. Floyd. Exactly. So I've been glad to hear your comments. Thank you, everybody, because your pearls of wisdom are valuable here. We're a community. We're a community of love and of the heart and agents of change. So thanks again. Bye. Love you. Okay, let's try that again.